Hi and good evening to all our webinar participants. I hope I am audible. Sayali?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. My name is Bexy Kuriakos and I head the Center for Content Creation here at NISM. The National Institute of Securities Markets, which is NISM, is a public trust established in 2006 by the Securities and Exchange Board of India, that is SEBI, who is the regulator of the securities markets in India, as most of you would know. The institute carries out a wide range of capacity building activities at various levels aimed at enhancing the quality standards in securities market. As part of NISM's capacity building efforts, we also offer a slew of e-learning courses, including skill development modules. In recent times, our bouquet of offerings has increased. We have now about 65 e-learning courses with a lot of new course launches which has happened this year in the last 6 months. I would invite all of you to please check out our LMS platform, which is at online.nism.ac.in. I will be sharing the link in the chat window, and you're most welcome to explore our courses. These courses start from basic foundational financial literacy courses in English and various Indian languages to all the way up to specialized niche courses in areas like equity derivatives, fixed income mathematics, forensic investigation, anti money laundering, depository operations, and so on. NISM also has a slew of partner courses where we collaborate with India's leading companies who are experts in their respective fields. As part of this collaboration initiative, we have partnered with Crisil, one of India's premier credit rating agencies, I'm sure known to all of you, to offer a joint e-learning course called the NISM and Crisil Certified Wealth Manager course, also short named as NCCWM. With NISM's established credentials in the certification, testing, and education space in securities markets, and Crisil's deep experience in providing data, research, and cutting edge analytics in capital markets, I can really say that learners get the best of both worlds. And aspiring wealth managers, financial planners, advisors, and those looking to make their career in the wealth management arena should definitely consider this premium course. With this introduction, I now hand over to Himanshi to introduce our guest speakers from Crisil, who will explain more about the course in today's webinar session. Over to you, Himanshi.
Thank you, Vexi, for this introduction. Good evening, everybody. I'm Himanshi, and I welcome you all to the webinar that we are conducting on NISM and Crisil Certified Wealth Manager Program. In this webinar, we'll share details about this program, which will be also followed by a demonstration of e-learning modules and a Q&A session towards the end. So the guest speaker of today is Mr. Dharmesh Chauhan. Dharmesh is an expert with 18 plus years of experience in financial services, specializing in research on mutual funds and life insurance. He has worked with top clients, led initiatives in product development and process automation, and developed IT-based solutions for financial analysis and planning. With a strong academic background, including an MBA, a CFP, Master in Financial Analytics, CWM certification, he brings a wealth of knowledge and expertise to the table with us. So join us to learn from his insights and expertise in the financial service industry. Over to you, Dharmesh.
Voice is audible and you can see me. Correct? A warm welcome to all the participants. So before we get into a discussion on how this wealth manager program is and what is the key objective of this program, let me just spend a moment to give you a glimpse of how we had basically the journey to ensure how this entire program was curated. Now, Crisil being in this industry of training wealth managers for almost over a decade now, we took a very different approach to curate this entire module. Now, while designing this module, we also had interactions with mutual fund distributors, advisors, wealth managers to understand what is the need of an hour and what are the key emerging trends in terms of need for one to become a specialist in this area. Now, during this discussion, there were a couple of themes which emerged as key areas of focus. One of the theme was um, essentially identifying financial goals and risk appetite. The second objective that emerged was identifying right investment opportunities. The third key important was to understand emerging trends and subsequently also to understand how to manage clients and how to handle objections. And fifth, I think was the most critical and important is to how to build trust. So having said that, we have created this module, which I will speak about it in the next slide. So the course, yeah. So if you look at the course is designed and it has a duration of total 43 hours of learning. Now, this learning can be done at ease of your time. Plus, it also provides you with lot of additional supporting document. When I say supporting document, while it has audio visual, it also has lot of literature, case studies. It also has lot of calculation Excel files, which you can use in your day-to-day activity, which helps you to calculate things like what is the amount required for one to achieve a goal, how to assess risk appetite, how to calculate HLV, what is the insurance need, and so on and so forth. Okay. The other element is also that the certification which is provided is a joint certification between NISM and Crisil, and this certification is also supported by a digital badge. I will speak about digital badge in some time. Now, I would also want to focus on other areas that is very important from a wealth manager or a distributor's perspective. Now, I'm sure as a distributor or a wealth advisor or a mutual fund distributor, a lot of time you come across a situation where you need to understand the client's requirement. Now, when you look at client's requirement, I would put this into core pillars. The first pillar I would put is to understand client's need. The second is on insurance needs. Third, again, is critical on how to suggest or how to advise or how to sort of recommend a investment. Correct. The assessment of the investment products which are available, and then finally providing of monitoring of investments on a regular basis. The next slide, I will be focusing on these areas and to help you understand how you can deal with all these situations from this course. Now, looking at the first area is on uh, probing or understanding clients' need on the goals and also to understand how much money is required based on the risk appetite of the investors. Now, just to give you an example, there could be an investor who requires say an X amount in 5 years or 10 years time. Now, how do I marry risk appetite of the investor along with the time period that is available? correct? So it is important to evaluate both these elements of time period as well as risk appetite before we suggest any investment. Okay, so the module helps you to evaluate and also provides you with the techniques of how you can probe in terms of evaluating goals and risk appetite. The second element is on the recommendation or suggesting investments. Now we look at how the entire investment has evolved over a period of time, from starting from the traditional um, investments such as fixed income instruments, stocks. Now we have moved to a very sophisticated investment such as REITs, InvITs, and so on and so forth. It is very difficult for one to really evaluate all of that from the basis of whether to suggest or whether one should invest in equity or fixed income instruments or should explore beyond that to REITs and InvITs. Here, what we have also incorporated is the IP that Crisil has on assessing how the methodology has to be arrived to assess the investment options which are available. And also, it focuses on various asset classes. What are the risk and returns objective characteristics of these investments? The next is on mutual fund assessment. Now, when you look at mutual fund, typically, largely people focuses on returns that has been generated over a period of time. However, it is very important to also evaluate parameters beyond returns. For example, standard deviation, which also speaks about volatility. It also important to assess concentration risk at company level, industry level. Also, it is important to assess liquidity that is provided for each mutual fund investments. Right? Now, this is based on how this entire framework is developed. So this framework of assessing mutual fund is also a part of this entire learning module. Moving to next is on insurance. Now, over a period of time, again, the industry, that is insurance industries, have also evolved. Now, when we look at insurance, we focus on life insurance from broadly from the investment perspective. And also when it comes to risk management, it is important to understand what life cover is to be evaluated or is required. How much sum assured is required, correct? So what is the systematic method to arrive at a human life value? So we have also added how systematically one can calculate human life value based on the existing investments and how they can cover and what is the right way to evaluate one's insurance need. The next is again looking at monitoring of investments. Now, when I say monitoring, there is a certain goal that you have identified, and based on that goal, of course, one has identified what is the amount to be accumulated. Now, the third step, as I said, is to suggest right investments. So all of this has been done, but now it is also critical to evaluate whether these investments are moving as per your expectation, and is there a review where you can look at other investment options, and if it requires rebalancing of the portfolio, how do you do this rebalancing and ensure that the portfolio is growing as per your expectation? And hence monitoring, what are the ways in which you can monitor, and what are the elements that you should look at over a period of time, and do a comparative analysis between the investments that you have vis-a-vis the opportunity that lies in the market. So these are some of the elements which is largely focusing on pure investment process. Now let me focus on a very important element, which is uh, client confidentiality. Now, when you look at typical client interaction, one of the most important element is to win a client. And when I say win a client, it is to win the client's trust. So, what are the ways in which you can win the client's trust? What are the do's and don'ts of that? Is something which we have also curated in our entire training module. So now if you look at the approach of wealth management, it starts from a very basic conversation when you start, okay, where you probe the client, understand their need, from starting from there to ensure how you handhold the entire journey of the client, and to ensure that you are also servicing the client and to meet their need and also build trust over a period of time. So this is how we have designed or curated our entire course, which not only focuses on concept, it also has role plays, it also has real examples of how different scenarios, our market scenarios, impact your investments, which could be simply based on how the policy rates have been disclosed, or what is the yields which are moving, what will be the impact of the yield on the investments in equity market and debt market. How do you assess the entire investment over a period of time, and also helps you to look at what is the time when you need to move asset between asset classes. With this, I will now focus on uh, the key elements of the module or the course. As mentioned earlier, the course is entire for around 43 hours of the module. The module is certified by Crisil and NISM. The Once the course is done, you are eligible for exam, which happens once in a quarter. Also, the certification is valid for 3 years, and at the end of the 3 years, there is a 6-hour refresher module which one can do to extend the certification. Okay, this is broadly how the entire course is being set. Now, let me move to the next slide where we talk about the digital badge which is provided. Now, on completion of the course and after successfully completing the course and successfully completing the examination, where I think 60% is the threshold that you will have to achieve to get certified. You are also provided with a digital badge, and this digital badge, of course, you can use it on your digital platforms, and this can be also verified. Okay. This is largely what we have on the program. Happy to take any questions, and to understand what are the areas, if you want to understand in detail. So over to you, Himanshi. If there are any questions, then we can probably answer those questions.
Thank you, Dharmesh. And I hope you all had greater insights for the entire presentation. You would have understood what we are covering throughout the course. Uh, for a better understanding of how you are going to access the course and what you are getting in terms of the e-learning content that we are providing to you, would now like to take you through a sample, or rather a small demonstration of the modules. As Dharmesh rightly said, that these modules are highly interactive in nature. They have audio, human voiceover to it, And also along with that, they come with Excel sheets, some downloadable resource articles, glossary terms, animations, and multiple such interactivities to keep you engaged throughout the course. So if you can see my screen, this is a sample of the course that might look to you. This will be accessible to you on NISM's platform. Bexy just mentioned the URL for you to look for it. I will also at the end give you a link to access the same. To start with, I will take you through a course on Introduction to Financial Planning, right? So this, as we all know, this by far that this course.
Let's begin the financial planning process by defining your goals. Anand?
So this, and it covers the entire life cycle of wealth management. In this particular module, we will be covering the basics of financial planning. What you see on screen is what we call a module map. In the center are the topics that are covered as a part of this topic, as a part of this module. And as you click on these topics, subtopics are reflected on the right-hand side. All right. There's a role play that we have used as a part of interactivity or understanding methodology in this module, which we will cover in the topic defining financial goals. I will play this module and keep myself on mute for your understanding and so that you can take or hear the audio properly. And I'll resume again.
What are your financial goals?
I do have a few goals in mind. Organizing my parents' religious pilgrimage, saving for my daughter's higher education.
I will quickly check Bexy or Siley if you are able to hear the audio from the module.
Yes, ma'am, it's audible.
Thank you.
And her wedding.
Anand, you have missed out on one of the most important goals, retirement planning. Many people in India tend to ignore this goal. But with more families becoming nuclear and an increasing lifespan, everyone should have a sufficient retirement corpus to ensure a comfortable life during their sunset years.
You are right. Let me add that as my goal too.
Next, for each of your goals, you need to add a time frame. Short term, which is less than 1 year, medium term, which is between 1 to 5 years, and long term, that is above 5 years. This will help determine the tenure of the investment. Now, Anand, add the cost estimate for each goal. Wait, looking at the cost of the goal in current prices is not enough. To identify the real cost of the goal, we need to adjust it for inflation.
I don't think I understand this.
Let's say you want to buy a vacation home after 7 years. The cost of the house is around 30 lakh rupees at present. Now you create a financial plan with 30 lakh rupees in mind. But at the end of 7 years, you find that the cost of the house has increased to 45 lakh rupees. So you still can't buy the house due to a shortfall of 15 lakh rupees. You need to estimate the cost of the goal at the end of 7 years.
Oh, I get it. So today my daughter's education will cost around rupees 20 lakhs. But since she will start her higher education only after 10 years, I need to estimate the cost after 10 years.
That's right. So we consider the average inflation rate and then estimate the cost at the end of the desired period. Let's keep retirement planning goal to be discussed later. Theoretically, this is the concept of time value of money or TVM. Money you have at present will not have the same value in future. So the present value of money is worth more than the promised future value. The calculation of TVM with the help of present and future value can help you differentiate the investment worth at different periods.
So what I need to focus on is the actual cost of the goals when they are to be met. This has been helpful, Manika.
So similarly, we've built the content in terms of objection handling, and the same conversation can be replicated. We also have a number of resource articles and related case studies that you can find here in the module that can be also downloaded and kept for your future reference. These Excel sheets also have pre-populated formulas that even after your course access is expired, you can use it. You can enter the numbers according to you, and you can then use it for your client solutions as well. right? Once this content is covered, there's also knowledge towards the end of each module. So if you go back to the module map, at the end of each topic and at the end of each module, there's a quick knowledge that I'm hovering my mouse over. So this is a small assessment which also ensures that the coverage throughout this module has been thorough and that you are
Now,
able to
it is time for an assessment to check your understanding.
you're able to score 80% as a passing criteria to go for this, to mark this module as complete. Similarly, we have another module that I'll quickly take you through. This is the module on understanding asset classes. In this particular module, see, as we all know, in Indian markets, there is quite some favoritism towards gold as a commodity. People largely would like to believe or would want to invest in a commodity such as gold. But there are various aspects around it that needs to be
Welcome to this
considered.
module on understanding.
And some of these details I'll take you through. As I spoke about gold, we have gold as a commodity covered as a topic in this module. So in this module, we can look at various commodities. There's return on investments in gold. There's distribution of returns. I'll take you through one of these. Yeah. So this charts and the table here covers ROI and standard division over 1 year, 3 years, 5 years, and 10 years of gold, debts, and equities. You can see the distribution of return on various investments. If I look at standard deviation on comparing with debt and equity over different time intervals, we see that the standard deviation of gold is fairly high. This enables us to have a meaningful conversation with the client with the support of data points. And these data points are frequently updated by our team to facilitate view with the updated information. So in Crisil, we have our funds and fixed income team that does the research in this area and helps you with the updated information in these modules. Towards the end of this course, we also have a module that covers the behavioral aspects that are required in a wealth manager. It is quite a dry subject, so to make it interesting, we have put down some videos as a part of this module. As Dharmesh
Meet
clearly
Maria,
spoke about
a
the
wealth
topic
manager
on
employed in a large
confidentiality
wealth
being
management.
a very important aspect of this training, I will take you through one of the videos wherein there are two financial advisors or wealth managers who will discuss around
Maintaining client
topic of
confidentiality
confidentiality, and
is
there's an
the first
example to quote in
fundamental
the same.
ethical principle.
I'll quickly play the video for your reference.
Meet Maria, a wealth manager employed in a large wealth management firm for the past 5 years. Maria's dynamic nature has helped her win some big-ticket clients and brought good business to her firm. Today, she has around 20 high-net-worth clients whose portfolios exceed rupees 10 crore each and around 50 clients whose portfolios are in the range of rupees 1 crore to rupees 10 crore. The company's basket of offerings includes all financial products such as mutual funds, insurance, fixed deposits, direct equity, bonds, debentures, etc. Conducive investment environment and healthy capital markets combined with Maria's hard work and prudent decision-making have largely contributed to Maria's growth in her professional career over the past 5 years. Maria recently attended an investment conference where around 100 wealth managers from across the country attended.
Hey Jim, long time. How have you been? Glad to meet you.
Same here. Was logging to meet you. How have you been?
Awesome. You know, I added a very prestigious client to my list last month.
That's great. Who's this prestigious client, by the way?
The CEO of ABC Manufacturing Limited.
Oh, that's an achievement. You have got a real run of luck, Maria.
No, Jim, it's not just luck. It was an uphill battle. I chased him for almost a whole year before he finally agreed to do business with me.
Wow, superb. How big is his portfolio and where does he invest in?
So his portfolio size is around 25 crores. He mainly invests in equity mutual funds. Recently, he made an investment of 1 crore in ABC Large Cap Equity Fund.
Good luck. Good luck for your future.
So to all the videos that you see and all the animations that come on the screen, for reference, there's a transcript also provided which has all of this in an on-screen text format that you all can refer to. So being theoretical in nature, it's difficult to retain such topics in the mind of participants. But with this approach, we are sure and we certainly can cover these topics in an interesting manner, and that you can access this and retain this information for longer. With this, I hope that you all had some insight of how the modules look like. You also would have understood the coverage of this course. It was just a brief to give you all an insight of how and what we are offering and how beneficial it is going to be for you in the longer run. With this, I think we'll just move on to the Q&A session. And if anybody has any questions, feel free to drop in the question and answer session, and we will then pick it up from there.
So, hi. I hope you had a glimpse of how these modules are curated and how this will help you in terms of having a good understanding on investment side, client management, objection handling, and also evaluating on investment market events, how this market event actually helps to evaluate various investment opportunities. Now, maybe I will take some time to look at the questions that have been posted here. And after reading those questions, I look at broad two themes here. One is understanding of what and how you can avail this course. So let me reiterate. This course is an online course, and you will have login ID and password. Okay, what we will do is we will share the link of a web page where you can have complete details of this course. Okay, but just to answer the question, it is an online course. It is the duration of the course or various modules is around about 43 hours. The exam will be conducted again online, and the duration for the exam is around 3 hours. It has around 150 questions, and minimum threshold is around 60%. Also, the certification provided by NISM and Crisil is valid for 3 years. And then there is a 6-hour refresher that you need to carry out for extending the certification. Next, certification is also supported with a digital badge, which you can use on to put out on your social media accounts. There is no negative marking. I think I could see one of the question around that. Next, I think most of you have also asked question in terms of how this course will help you in terms of enhancing your wallet share. That is, if you are a wealth manager or a wealth advisor or a mutual fund distributor, then how will this course will essentially help you? Okay. Now, again, I would largely focus on, the key elements. While, fundamentally, we might be aware of how the insurance industry work or how investments or what are various investments, but it is very important to look at real life scenarios, also to look at the characteristics of each investment. So just to give an example, I was having a conversation with one of my friends few days back, and according to that person, investment in real estate has been a very lucrative investment. Now that is one of the views that even your clients would have. Now, how do you really justify this, whether it's a right investment or it's average investments, or whether it is good to invest in mutual funds over real estate? Now, that could be a scenario for investment in gold or real estate or any other investments. Correct? Now, how do you evaluate that? Now, to support your answer or your rational, you also need to be aware of how the data, you need to have enough data points to support your answer. Now, how do you get that analysis done is something that we have incorporated in the course. So that ensures that you can manage these kind of questions, and how you can build that capability to answer these questions. Now, this will not only just help you to answer the question, but also gain confidence among your client in terms of how you are aware of various market scenarios, what is the actual data points, and all will also help you to gain trust. Correct? Because these days, I think trust has becoming a very important aspect in order to win clients. So this is how you will be able to be aligned with market trends, and also to understand what are the key assessment parameters across various investments. Okay, I hope I have largely answered the questions. Okay. Um, Himanshi, Bexy, anything you would want to add?
I think couple of candidates had queries on the pricing of the course.
Yeah, all the participants who've written their questions on the Q&A panel, we will be reverting to you. We are already reverting on chat to most of the queries, and we're hopeful that most of the common queries have been addressed by Mr. Dharmesh on the webinar, in the webinar itself. For rest of you, we will drop you an email with the answers to your queries as well, and the brochure and details that will also have the details around this course. Yeah, I think that is it for today's webinar. Yeah, over to you, Bexy.
Okay, so Himanshi, thanks for that clarification. Like you said, whatever rest of the
Bexy, your
queries are
voice is
there,
not audible. Sorry.
you would be responding, right, to the various participants by email.
Hello.
Hi, Ali, you can hear me?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So my audio is audible, Himanshi. So yeah, as Himanshi has confirmed, Crisil will be replying to the queries, whatever has not been answered here regarding this. I would urge all webinar participants to please check the website link of our LMS, NISM's LMS, which I had already shared in the chat box, and I'll be sharing again, which is online.nism.ac.in. And there, if you type or search for Crisil, certified wealth manager, you will find the basic details of this course, including the number of hours, the pricing of this course, the brochure of the course can be downloaded, what are the modules, what is the assessment percentage, how is the assessment done. So all details are there on the LMS. I will obviously share the link again for the benefit of all participants. There again, so please go to the LMS and explore, and there are a lot of FAQs given. We have answered a lot of frequently asked questions that people have. Is it online? Is it live, etc.? So, we have also given contact of our e-learning help desk. Okay, so you can call our e-learning help desk during the working hours, which is 9:30 to 5:30 p.m. on weekdays. Put in your queries by email as well, or even call them. So that option is also there. apart from, Himanshi would be emailing the brochure and other details. There were a lot of queries on how is it compared to NISM's 10A exam, NISM's 5A exam, etc. NISM has a series of certification exams, key of which some of you may have already taken or planning to take, which is the mutual fund distributors 5A and 10A level 1, level 2, which is for investment advisors. So again, I would urge you to please visit the website of NISM, go to the tab of certification examinations, and there you will get all the details pertaining to NISM certification exams. And in fact, if you scroll down, you will get the FAQs as well. So we have tried to address the FAQs. And those exams, what is the purpose of those exams? SEBI has made it mandatory for certain class of people to take those exams. So for example, if you want to become a mutual fund advisor, distributor, and you want to sell mutual funds, the NISM's 5A is compulsory, right? As you may be knowing. So NISM certification exams serve an entirely different purpose. And many of them are meant for participants who are entering into specific roles like investment advisor, mutual fund distributor, and it may be mandatory for that. Whereas the NISM Crisil Certified Wealth Manager is an online self-paced e-learning course with a lot of gamified content, as Himanshi showed you. So it is much more user friendly. You can go through the content anywhere, sitting anywhere, and take the assessment conveniently through a remote proctored examination model. So they are not strictly comparable. They are not apples to apples, but they serve different purposes. But definitely the certification can add a lot of value to the work profile, if that you may want to undertake or want to enter the industry as a wealth manager, right? With this, we will come to the conclusion of this webinar. And thank you to all the participants for attending. And I would like to thank Dharmesh and Himanshi for taking out their valuable time and addressing some of the queries of the participants. And from NISM side, thank you, Sayali, for your support. We hope to do such webinars more in the future. And, like I said, Crisil is one of our esteemed partners. When it comes to our e-learning programs, we do have 3, partner programs with Crisil, and all of you are welcome to check out the details on our LMS. With that, I would like to conclude today's webinar. Thank you to everyone for participating.
Thank you, Maxi.